Natasha. This is my channel, Always Be Crafting, and today is Saturday, and on Saturdays I sew. Well, I haven't done any sewing yet, but man, have I been doing a lot this morning. So the current time is like 1:30 in the afternoon. I got up at 8 this morning, and I started by coming down to my crafting sewing room, and I thought I'm gonna move my sewing machine cabinet. So how do I start? I have a old sewing machine, like a 40s, 50s sewing machine that's built into a cabinet. And the sewing machine is not currently usable. And the cabinet really just holds the sewing machine. So the cabinet doesn't really serve any other purpose other than a tabletop. And it's been used as a tabletop right there. But that's not a sewing machine cabinet because I moved it. I had a dead space under my sewing table. So you are perched on my sewing table. And underneath you, well, actually just a little to the side of you, there was kind of this dead space where the drawers, the Elfa drawers I have that open on the other side of the table could not open over in that corner right there because of my fireplace stuff. So that side was blocked from being open that way. I had drawers opening towards me, but because of the overhang on the table and just like how things work with my other sewing machine right here. Let's see if you can see. Maybe I'll just take you on a tour. Do you want to see it? All right, let's see. All right, here it is. So that's the sewing machine cabinet. So this was kind of a dead space because as you can see, these are Elfa over here and they open on the other side over there. But where this is, behind it, those are more Elfa on top of my fireplace hearth. So nothing was accessible from the back there. And you can see it has quite a overhang because that's usually where my feet go. Trash can, surge, blah, 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 blah. This is going to be dealt with. This is also nonsense, but that's going to be dealt with shortly. But then sewing machine. All this fabric was just folded or refound to be rehomed. And well, homed here in my studio. I'm not giving it away. But then this Elfa was moved because it had been, see, it's on wheels. It had been in front of, okay, so I have, let's see, can I zoom out? Yeah, I'll zoom out. Okay, so here are where I have fabric inside. See, those are drawers full of fabric. This is all quilting cotton. Well, some canvas also, but cotton fabric. And then, oh, I'm showing off my mess big time today. You see, sewing supplies, etc., that I access. This shelf here in the middle has Alexander Henry and Ruby Star, and then some magazines and patterns. This shelf with the thread in front, that's all Tula Pink, and then magazines and books. This shelf above the TV, that is fat quarters in those turquoise bags, projects in those clear zippy bags, and then that gray box and plastic basket are like half yards and odd cuts of fabric. Under the TV, lots of things I access. The Elfa here on wheels had been in front of this cabinet here because in that one is all my like silk or denim or other fabrics that I don't use. And then these are fat quarters and then a whole lot of crafty nonsense that I have to deal with. All right. So you see mess, messy, messy, mess, messy, messy, mess, mess. All right. So right here, this area that I just said I'm going to deal with, right here where the big crafty table and this sewing machine desk, where they kind of meet, I'm going to get an IKEA cabinet. Let me turn you back around. Okay, so right in that space directly down to my right now, that is going to be, I'm getting an IKEA cabinet. It just came back into stock at my local IKEA, which isn't that local. It's like a 45-minute to an hour drive away. But it just came back into stock today. So I'm probably going to go next weekend to go purchase one. I'll try to put like a picture of it maybe here-ish. It's a very popular IKEA cabinet. You've probably seen it lots and lots. It's got shallower drawers, so I think it's going to be really good for zippers and straps because that's basically what's in this Alpha right here. This top drawer is full of like strapping, webbing, webbing. And then down here, I start getting into zipper tape and zipper pulls. And I would like to utilize this Alpha more for thread storage because you can see I've got thread all over the place, including the floor. So I would like to utilize this Alpha differently. And I'd like to move all my straps and zipper pulls and bag making hardware, if you will, to that cabinet there. And this nonsense on the floor is driving me nuts because I have too much stuff and then I put it on the floor because I think, okay, everything's going to be fine. It's in a box. Everything's going to be together. So I'm not tripping on it. And then I forget what's in there. And then I drop things and I lose things. It's just a mess. And my new rule, why I didn't have this rule before, but my new rule shall be, moving forward, the only things on the floor are furniture. So, like the things you see already down on the ground right now, like I have the cutting board and ironing mat that I use when I iron here on top of my cutting, like on top of my cutting mat. I have cutting mat, my ironing mat and cutting board. Yeah, it's like a wooden cutting board to absorb heat. And then the wool ironing mat. So I can, without having to get up and go over there to keep ironing big pieces. It's such a mess. But I folded all this fabric and then this basket. All right, I have to turn you around again. Hold on. This basket is all my K-Facet collective. And you'll see 2 pieces of 1 yard fabric on top that have not been folded onto boards because I have run out of comic book boards. These are all the 1 yard cuts or a big, large, more than half a yard, close to 1 yard. So obviously my K-Facet collective is busting at the seams because that basket can really not hold it anymore. So I have to decide if I'm swapping something out from here to there and if I'm putting, because I don't want, okay, so the reason I have certain things out on shelves and certain things in drawers, the things on shelves are the things I access the most, the things I look at. So I tend to use Tula Pink, K-Facet Collective, and Ruby Star the most, then Alexander Henry. Then after that, I go into the drawers and I look for different things. So that's why they're out, because those are the ones I use the most. The ones that I don't know, I guess they just speak to me the most. So I don't know what to do because I don't have another shelf like right here unless I move all this stuff right behind me and move Kafe there. But I kind of use this stuff regularly. So unless the IKEA drawer system that I get next weekend, unless that can house all the things that are here, because I've got like elastic and magnets and some more purse hardwares back here. So there's a lot of stuff right here behind me. Unless I can find a home for that stuff between the IKEA cabinet and maybe over here and this Alpha, then maybe K-Facet can move over here to this shelf underneath Ruby Star Alexander Henry. I don't know what to do. But I do have to order more comic book boards because I've run out. And that means that since I started organizing my fabric this way, since I started folding it on comic book boards, which I think I started doing about a year ago, I have put onto comic book boards. Maybe I've lost 1 or 2 along the way. But I know I've bought 400 comic book boards. So if I'm out, that means 400 pieces of fabric in my collection, minimum. Minimum. I know I have more than that because there's fabric that's not on comic book boards. Like all the things over in that cabinet over there, all the silk and denim and da 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 da. None of that's on comic book boards. And then I have all my mom's fabric that I inherited that's out in the, like I'm pointing that way, because that's the way to get to the garage and to the shed. And I've got like 18 jumbo, like 30 quart or 30 gallon, I guess, 30 gallon boxes, tubs full of fabric. Got a lot of fabric. I got a lot of fabric. I don't know how I'm going to use it all. I don't think I'm going to live long enough to use it all. So I'm trying to be really smart. I'm trying to get organized so I can use it. Did I finish my story about the where I moved the sewing machine cabinet? I don't think I finished that story. So backing up to the beginning of where this all began was yesterday. I wanted to organize my scraps. That's how this all started, because that dead space that the sewing machine cabinet now is in under this table, that space had a giant laundry basket, well, not a giant, but a laundry basket, and it was overfilled with scraps, because every time I cut fabric and I had a little bit of fabric like this that wasn't getting used for something specific, it got tossed under my desk, under my table here into the laundry basket. And it was overflowing, like it was really overflowing. And I kept thinking, I want to do more scrap projects, but I have this huge basket of scrap fabric that I have not dealt with. I need to deal with that so I can use my scrap fabric. So a few months ago, on another IKEA trip, and there's probably a video, and if I can figure out how to link it, I will. I had purchased these white tubs at IKEA, and I had used some of my scrap vinyl, and I color coded each tub. So if I remember correctly, I think I do, I've got a tub for red, orange, yellow. But in the orange, I mix the brown, and in the yellow, I mix the tan. Okay, so red, orange, yellow, blue, green, purple. And then I have a tub that's called rainbow. Like when a fabric has so many colors, you can't like figure out what its main color is. A tub for pink, of course, pink. A tub for white, black, gray, because I didn't think I had that many that were just white. And I had some that were black, but like a lot that were gray. So I kind of did white, black, gray all together. So I think that's all my tubs. Is that 9 tubs? Red, orange, yellow, blue, green, purple, pink, rainbow, black, white, gray. Yeah, so 9 tubs all together. The hope is that those 9 tubs will get to sit. Yes, they'll sit on the floor because I don't know what else to do unless I can free up shelf space over there. But they're going to sit in front of that cabinet that is like the not as used fabric cabinet, because then I can use the scraps. So then as I cut stuff up, I can organize my scraps. Maybe I'll have like a little pile like on my tabletop. And then when I'm done and I'm moving my scraps, instead of going toss underneath into the laundry basket, I'll like set them aside. I'll figure out, like, you know how you have like your garbage basket or your garbage like when you're cooking and you're peeling potatoes and you don't want to like move around a lot, you like move the garbage can to where you are, or you get like a mixing bowl and you just peel your potatoes into the mixing bowl and you have like a garbage bowl for a few minutes. That's what I'm going to have. I'm going to have like a scrap bowl, like all my scraps are going to like stay right here at eye level. And then I'm going to go whoop and organize them into their color category right away. So then when I want to do a project with scraps, I can say, hey, what color do I want to go to? And I can go to that bin and pull out my scraps and do a project. And then if I want to say, I'm feeling very blue and yellow, I can grab those 2 bins and play, right? I'm trying, man, I'm trying. So yeah, that's everything I'm doing today. And now that I've done all this organizing and all this cleaning, I want to do some sewing. But as you saw, my desk over there, where my sewing machine is, well, I have 2 sewing machines, but the sewing machine I'm using the most, like quilt cotton sewing machine, is over there. And the project I want to do is probably going to be on that sewing machine, not this sewing machine. So this Pfaff, my Pfaff Select, that sits next to me. It's not an industrial machine. It is a domestic machine, but it has an issue with its tension. Its tension is always cranked up really high, which is awesome when I want to work on things like clear vinyl or multiple layers of, other kinds of vinyl or multiple layers of fabric and foam. Like, it's awesome because its tension is already cranked up so high. But the projects I want to do are not things that need high tension right now, which means I need to use that sewing machine over there. And that table's still a mess because I haven't cleaned that table yet. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is I have to treat myself. I have to reward myself because I have done so much work. I'm going to cut out the project I want to do, which is oven mitts. I have a heart template that I got from Sew Hungry Hippie, and I got some heart fabric from Sew Hungry Hippie, and I am going to use the pattern. I'm going to make oven mitts, these little heart-shaped oven mitts, and then if they come out well, if I'm happy with how they work, then I'm going to use the pattern again, and I'm going to use leftover Miss Piggy fabric, and I'm going to make a pair of oven mitts for my niece. But first, I'm going to do it on the fabric that came with the template because that's going to be my sample. Hopefully it comes out good, because if it comes out good, then I can use it as a gift for like my gifting group for next month's Valentine's Day, showing the love. I can mix that with something next month. But yeah, so for now, that's what I'm going to do. Because I deserve it. I've worked hard. I deserve a little break. So I'm going to cut that out, get that ready, and then I'll tackle that table so I can sew. All right. Hopefully you'll get to actually see some sewing today, but at least you've seen a lot of folding and you've heard about why I'm doing all this today, Saturday, when I should be sewing. Fingers crossed. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas, any feedback, I'd love to hear it. If you've used that IKEA cabinet that I pictured and you hated it, I want to know before I buy it. I have a week before I have to go buy it. So tell me about it. Tell me what you love, what you don't love. I would love to hear it. All right. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay, sorry for the weird angle. I had the phone. I record on my phone, and I had the phone angled, and I didn't redo it. So you get a lot of ceiling. But it's done. Look at that. I love it. I didn't exactly follow the directions only because I'm not really great at written directions. It's not a learning disability. It's just, I don't know. My mind wanders. And I also kind of felt like I knew how to do this because I've done this kind of thing before. And it's not that, as I was reading the directions, they kind of like didn't jive with what I expected them to say. And I was like, is there a mistake or am I picturing this differently? You know what? I'm just going to do what I think I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to do what I think I need to do. So I quilted the, what's that called? You know, the heat proof, the heat proof fleece. The kit came with one layer for the big side and then two small pieces for where your hands go. But I don't know why you need them on top of your hands because you don't really, I don't know, maybe in case you touch something on the side. Anyways, but so that heat proof stuff is here, and here. And then I added at the very end, I decided to stick a piece of regular quilter's cotton right behind the inside piece. You see the piece that's not quilted. I'll stick this out. I'll go bloop, 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 bloop so you can see it. Okay, so see how that's smooth on this side? Because I turned it inside out through this little hole, and then I sewed it up. See? So I sewed it together. The only thing I did really wrong that when I do this next time, like when I do one for my niece, that I need to fix is I didn't loop my loop correctly because it twists up. Do you see how it's twisted? So it's still fine. I think she can still hang it on like a hook or whatever, but it's not as perfect. But look what a cute heart that is. I mean, her template is perfect. Like the shape is perfect. Yeah, I'm sure her directions are probably fine. But like I said, I only read like the very first like few cutting instructions and there were like 3 cuts of one piece and it didn't make sense. Like the white had 3 cuts and I was like, why would I need 3 pieces of that? Like I couldn't figure out why I would need 3 pieces unless I was supposed to be making 2 mitts, but there wasn't enough of the heat proof stuff to make 2. So I was like, no, you need 2 pieces. And then it just, anyways, I just did my own thing and it came out adorable. The template's perfect. Like it is the perfect shape. So I still give it a thumbs up. I'm not going to say anything bad about the pattern because I really did not continue reading it after the cutting instructions because I just couldn't get my brain wrapped around why I needed 3 pieces of the white. So I didn't even go on to like figure it out. I just said, nope, I'm just doing what I know. It's going to be fine. So that's it. I think that's it for Saturdays I Sew. It's later in the day. I just snuck down here before dinner because my kids are watching a movie upstairs. And I was like, I want to finish this because I want to finish it. And I did. And I'm really happy. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being there. Bye.